What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In the last video, we finished installing all of the speakers inside of the boat, and we have left this boat an absolute mess. In today's video, we're gonna be buttoning up all of the rest of the little small things. So we've got decals, manifolds, speakers, trim panels, all of the small little stuff that needs to be finished before we put the boat in the water. So this is gonna be the last video before we put it in the water. First order of business, we need to put in the proper ring spacers. I mentioned that in the last video. We ordered 1/2-inch speaker ring adapters initially, but we upgraded them to a 1-inch. Both 1-inch speaker rings are installed and they look really nice and flush. They fit good. I'm a fan. Next is the manifold. Step 1 of the manifold, we gotta file off all of the paint on the mating surfaces, and then we gotta clean up the old gasket surfaces that are on the engine. Yeah, this thing's super crusty. And so is that surface. Got to get each one of these gasket surfaces cleaned up now. Let me know if I'm wrong on this, but on the instructions it said to file off the paint with a double file. And this is the best that I can get it. Each surface still has a smidge of paint, and you can see the grooves, but you can't feel them with your fingernail. So let me know in the comments if I'm doing this right. And I even took some alcohol and wiped off the old paint. But now I'm gonna move on to cleaning up the old horn surface and the surface on the block. This is the best that I could get the gaskets cleaned up without marring it with a wire brush, and razor bladed them, and this is the best that I could get them. The exhaust outlet is also good to go. This thing literally weighs like 50 pounds. It's insane. It's cast iron. This is really hard to do with one person. I don't know how I'm gonna do this by myself. Maybe I can try standing up. Okay, I got one bolt in. Okay, well it's in. Now I need to figure out how to get the gasket in there. I don't think that there's gonna be a way without damaging it. Oh, there is, okay. Brand new OEM bolt versus the crusty one. I just have to double check that this gasket is lined up. Yeah, it looks good. Actually looks great. The new header is mounted. We just need to get this gasket on and those bolts in the head torque down. Okay, I don't have everything tightened down just yet all the way. It's just like snugged up. I just want to see if everything lines up first. So we've got the top gasket. Oh no. Damn, I grooved the head. Crap. That's not good. I dropped the header and I grooved the freaking mating surface up. I'm gonna try to file that out. That will absolutely be a leak later. Not bad. Got the new gasket ready to go in. Got fresh zinc coated OEM hardware to go in. Only on a couple of screws, not all of them. This tall screw snapped off, so we're not using that anymore. The new manifold is installed with the new gasket, some new hardware on there. Everything's looking good. All I need to do is add the water inlet back up here. So this one came with a plug in it, so I need to change it to the brass elbow that was here before and hook the hose up from here to there. Now I just need to get the rest of the manifold torqued down. I need to get the blower back in and button up a couple other things on this engine. Manifold's all torqued down, the hose clamps are back on. I hooked up the water so we can water test it to make sure that there's no leaks. After that, we can throw in the blower motor and then we can get this thing all cleaned up. So if there's any leaks, this camera will catch it. So let's go turn the water on. The water is on. Oh, I hope there's no leaks. I hope there's no leaks. Uh-oh, I hear water. Uh-oh, I hear water spraying. Let's see what that is. Okay, it's just a clamp, which is fine. I'm just gonna throw a towel over it. Okay, I'm not seeing any leaks. Battery's hooked up. We can try and start it. Hopefully it starts. Hasn't ran in a couple weeks. Okay, I've got the spark plugs in. Let's see if it runs or at all. Give it some starting fluid. Needs a little bit of help. Not all the injectors are working, so whenever I try to crank, you can see only one of the injectors are shooting fuel, which is not a great sign. I put the stethoscope on the 3 that aren't working, and I'm not really getting a strong pulse or click. I use this stethoscope tool here. It works really well. This thing saved my butt a lot. This one's clicking just fine, but all the other 3 are dead. I'm not sure what to check. Maybe there's like a relay or something that's no good. But I also was messing with ignition power with the radio install, and that might have something to do with it as well. Enough monkeying with that. I'm not seeing any leaks, which is good. It ran on its own for a couple of seconds on the brake fluid, and I'm not seeing any water drips or anything like that. So I'm happy with the new manifold install. So we're gonna move on and start cleaning up this absolute monstrosity of a boat. I've let this thing go and I'm not happy about it. So let's get this thing vacuumed up. The boat is finally clean. Well, not yet. I still have to wipe everything down, but it's all vacuumed for the most part. It hasn't been this clean in a long time. I went to go ahead and vacuum up the front, but I found some water in here, and it rained a couple weeks ago, and the cover was on, so I guess the cover was leaking, so I'm gonna wait to vacuum that until it dries out. We'll wipe everything down up here, but I just wanna get everything back here wiped down because the upholstery is a little bit dusty, dirty. We got some bird poop we need to wipe up, some dirt and stuff, so gonna go ahead and get this thing wiped down. This is the best this dash has ever looked. Oh yeah, nice and clean. I am very happy with the cleanliness level of this boat for tonight. We're gonna wrap this up and pick this back up in the morning. We have some new decals to replace on the side of the boat. We do still have to finish up getting rid of all the spare parts and stuff once everything's finished putting back together. I've got a couple little tweaks to make on the engine. Not sure if I'll film it yet or not. Got to finish cleaning up the front end, wipe that down, and then get all my tools out. But we still need to get those wires tucked up. We need to make sure that courtesy light works, zip tie up some more wires, and mount the kick plate. This mod is one of those mods that I've been waiting about 3 years to do. I've had these decals for about 3 years, and I cannot wait to get these onto the hull. As you can see, the old decals are super faded and peeling, so we need to get these changed out and get the fresh ones on. The other side is in a bit better of condition, but we have to, and we might as well replace it while we're here. So thankfully I have an original reference point with the old words that I've already peeled off. So luckily I'm gonna be able to remove all of the old sticker and still see the faded outline of where it used to be. But I just have to find where my plastic razor blades are. This is a mess. Oh, there they are. Good little plastic razor blade action. Hopefully this is enough to scrape this off. I think I'm gonna try a metal razor blade and see how that works. The plastic one doesn't seem rigid enough and doesn't seem to have sharp enough of an edge, so we're gonna be really careful with the metal blade and try not to scratch the gel coat. Yeah, that works a lot better. I'm gonna be able to get away with not damaging the gel coat. That's pretty satisfying. So we have removed the remaining of the old sticker. Usually before you take off the old sticker, you would use some masking tape to kind of get your sticker's positioning, but in my case, the old sticker has faded and actually etched into the gel coat, so I still know where it's at, even though the old sticker is not there anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some acetone to clean off the old residue, and then we can go ahead and put the new sticker on. So the acetone by itself didn't do a really good job of getting all the adhesive off, so I kind of kept my thumbnail off of the edge of the towel to knock off the surface of the adhesive, and then the towel would pick up the rest of the adhesive that I had knocked off with my thumb. So I got it pretty good here. Now we can go ahead and try and start lining up the decal. Just make sure that there's no adhesive in the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and just hold the decal about where I want it, and then I'm gonna tape the edges. A good way to measure if your decal is level is by measuring on the bottom of the seal to the top of your decal. And if those lengths are even, then your decal is most likely level. I don't have a ruler with me, but just off of an eyeball, it looks close. Yeah, that looks good there. All we have to do now is peel off the backing paper and lay it down. Undone. Make sure everything comes off evenly. Good. And we can swing it back. Before I stick it down, quick double check to see if that looks good. And it does. It's already down, so we can just start working it on by hand. I don't have a squeegee with me. That would probably be helpful, but a little bit of friction from the fingers will probably be good enough to get it to stick. Okay. So now your backing paper is on top of the decal. Now we can just go ahead and peel it. Peel it nice and flat and slow to make sure that everything will stick nicely. Real slow on the last two small letters. And there we go. The new decal is installed. Now, unfortunately, the new decal is a little bit different than the old decal. You can see that the old letters still show around it. They're a bit bigger than the original ones, and the letter spacing on the new one is a bit different than the original. So it might have been a good idea to buff the gel coat, but this gel coat's already so beat. It looks so much better than it does. Wow, that looks brand new. Gel coat's still a bit faded, but wow, that made a big difference. For this side, we're just gonna do a little bit of movie magic, so let's see if this works. Much better. Yeah, I'm so happy that these are finally on, but the spacing isn't correct to the original. You can still see where the original ones were. Font's a little bit smaller on the older ones, but I'm super happy with it. Sunset is beautiful too. So pink. Moving on, gotta get the front cleaned up now. The front end is looking great. It is so nice and clean now. Now I need to figure out how to get that engine running again. Okay, I think the main culprit is gonna be these injectors. I gotta figure out why 3 of them aren't working. Here's a quick example. Again, you can see when I go to crank the engine. None of them are working now, for some reason. Oh, great, okay. No, it is squirting actually. Yeah. Okay, so this front right one is squirting, but none of the other 3 are. As you can see, there's fuel in that one, but on the others, they're completely dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and look over a few things and see if I can figure out what's going on. This is actually pretty simple looking. The good news is I'll probably be able to test the voltage on this connector too when we go to crank it. Looks like we got 5 connectors, 5 pins. We can probably test power with these pins whenever we go to crank it. So this little harness goes to these injectors here. But I'm not sure how to get these out. Maybe they're all attached together. I don't know if I'm really looking to take these things out, but I don't know where to go from here. This tool here is an injector stethoscope. Basically what you do with this is you put the tip of this on the tip of the injector, and you can hear it click when you go to crank the engine. So this will tell you if the injector is trying to fire, and you can basically rule out if an injector is clogged or if it's not working at all. I just put the stethoscope on all the injectors, and I'm only getting a strong click from this one. If the other three are clicking, it does seem like it's pretty faint. So I went to look at the pin out on the connector, and it seems like all the grounds are going to one pin, so I'll be able to crank the engine and test it to see if it's getting power or not. I just tried to probe for power at the plug, and it kind of got me nowhere. It was reading like negative voltage, so I'm gonna see if I can jump the injectors with a 12-volt battery. Okay, so I got the battery ready, so I'm gonna go one by one and see if I can get any activity out of these guys. Okay, one of them's working. Okay, two of them. I'm getting two strong clicks from two injectors, and then there's two that either are weak or aren't clicking at all. It's so weird that this engine was literally running like a couple weeks ago, and now it doesn't even want to try and start. And this injector isn't, I can barely hear it clicking, but it's not really trying to fire. So we got a couple of injectors to tell us that they're working. I know that at least two are probably good. They could be clogged though, but I know that two of them aren't seized. It seems like one of them isn't wanting to go at all, and one of them is kind of weakly clicking. So I'm just gonna try and start it again and see if that made a difference. Maybe I knocked him loose. Oh yeah, we got fuel now. Uh-oh, one injector stuck. But it looks like we knocked them all loose, which is a good sign. But now this one is just free flowing. Give it a few more clicks, let's see if that fixed it. Okay, it's still dripping a little. All right, it runs again. Let's go. I'm not entirely sure how that fixed it, but all that I did was I gave the injector a couple of taps with these pair of pliers, and that seemed to fix it, but I'm definitely gonna be monitoring that closely just in case that issue happens again, because I definitely don't wanna have a flooding problem. Well, I'm gonna figure this all out and then get this back together. All right, the engine is finally put back together. The filter and this cover plate has not been on this engine in probably 3 years. I still have the water inlet unattached because I'm gonna run it a couple more times and then change the oil before I take it out on the water, but the engine is finally done. Everything is working well. With the new manifold and everything. Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks great. All right, now we need to move on to bolting the kick plate down and zip tying up a couple wires. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real fast. So let's see if this works again. Not much of a visual difference, but it's finally in place. So as far as everything goes, the boat is basically ready to water test. All that needs to be done now is an oil change. Another one wouldn't hurt just because the engine sat for a long time and there's probably still a lot of that Marvel Mystery Oil in there. And then I just need to go over everything. I just need to double check, make sure everything's buttoned up, make sure everything's good to go, because I'd hate to drive, 30 minutes, an hour away to a boat launch or something and find out that there's something that I forgot or something else that's wrong with the boat. We're so close, we're so close. So all that I need to do now is just get the rest of my junk, get the rest of my tools out of here. It's been really fun trying to put all these videos together and figure out if I can actually revive this boat, because for a long time, I had lost hope for this thing. I'd lost motivation for this boat for a really long time, and it feels so good to finally see this boat in one piece. It's put together, it runs. Now all we have to do is figure out how to get it in the water, which shouldn't be too hard to get to. I think this is a good place for me to wrap up the video. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you stayed with me the entire boat journey so far, I really appreciated it. So I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you guys in the next one.